we're looking at each other.
Yeah, but it's kind of gay.
What do you mean?
I hate your face.
Yeah. It's like I like looking at you through a screen, but not through real life.
Yeah,
It's
I
disgusting.
like to see your face
Yeah.
through a screen for sure. 4K is better than real life. Hey, what's real life? If this is 4K,
Okay.
what the fuck would real life be?
Oh, you mean that's actually kind of a cool question. People talked about like what resolution do human eyes see
Yeah.
at, and what frame rate do people see
yeah.
at, and then the other one is what focal length do people see at.
Right.
So focal length, that one I know people say that it's 35 millimeters.
Okay.
So right now, you're 50 millimeters. So if
Okay.
I go 35, it's just a bit wider. So that's what we're 35 millimeter equivalent. Frame rate, I'm actually not sure. That's a tricky one. Resolution,
You want to Google
I
that
think
real
they say
quick?
it's 8K.
Is it 8K?
I think it's
I
8K.
think it's more.
Let's see.
Because your boy's got 30/20 vision. You know what I'm saying?
My voice got fucking.
I can see
15,
within your
20.
rectum. Okay.
Yeah, sure you can.
And
True.
you haven't been pooping well. I could tell already.
Yesterday evening was a great one. It was like a log, bro. Like
What
a
about
solid.
today?
I haven't gone yet
Dude, your boy goes 2 times a day every day.
because I don't do enough to go 2 times a day.
What do you
When
mean
I
you
used to
don't
be
do
like
enough?
doing a lot, I used to
What does
like
that mean?
no, I mean like physical activity. Your
Okay.
body needs to be in motion for you to be
Pooping.
Yeah, that much. Yeah, like I remember
Yeah.
when I used to do more, I used to be on 2
You
days.
got shoulders now. Hey, what's going on?
Go to the gym, dog.
Oh, damn.
Is it
First
short?
time ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dog.
Oh,
You got
shit.
shoulders. Shit, dog.
My girl the other day said it's like, oh yeah, you're getting thinner. I'm like, no, not like overall, but it's like you're like, I'm like,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
for real?
My
It's
girl's
just-
telling me I'm getting fatter. She grabbed my love handles and she's like, you fat bitch.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, you love it.
So according to scientist and photographer Dr. Roger Clark, the resolution of the human eye is 576 megapixels. That's crazy.
Which
This
equates
camera is
to-
25.
Jesus.
And like the top end cameras go to 100. That's it.
But what is how does that equate to like
The resolution?
K, yeah.
K, yeah.
Human eye to K resolution.
Oh, I like this. This is from LASIK MD. So
Okay.
it says, can the human eye see in 8K?
Yeah.
Okay. Resolution. So that's, like I said, the 576.
Yeah. And then the K is 3, 2.
It's actually really,
One.
it's like no real answer. You know why? And I get this. So there's something to be said about not just the resolution, but how far away you are from the TV when you see it.
Yeah.
So an 8K TV close up doesn't feel like it's 8K.
Yeah.
It only feels like when you go further away. So
Right.
like you ever see like a really like a really shitty quality video on a big screen, but you put it on your phone and it looks fine.
Yeah.
Something called pixel density. So
Okay.
when you shrink the physical screen itself, it seems to look better. So that's why like I don't know, LASIK MD, they don't actually give you like a real like what your eyes see in, because it doesn't work that way apparently.
Damn.
Lame.
We learned something new. LASIK MD, you bitches.
LASIK MD.
Goddamn bitches. What's going on in your life, you fuck?
New job starting soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Me too, doggy.
Damn, dude.
Me too. When you started?
29th.
29th?
Yep.
The 6th, bro. I'm just a week later.
Yeah,
dog.
dude.
Dog.
We're just getting new jobs. Kid.
Listen, you know what's hilarious about us?
What?
We're like, would you say character based we're different?
In some ways for sure. Yeah.
You're a nice guy,
Yeah.
but I had like multiple villain arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say this?
That's a pretty fair assessment.
But right now, the way our life's going, we literally got wifed up at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and we're basically getting new jobs at the same time. The only thing that's left is like busting in our chicks at the same time. We gotta plan
First to a kid. First to a kid.
Dude, listen, wouldn't it be sick if my kid hangs out with your kid and we just fucking raise 2 kids and they turn out to be just like us? Like, my kid's absolute fucking savage.
No, imagine. You know what would be even funnier though if it was opposite. Like
Oh,
you
you
raise
got
your
the
kid
savage?
and he turns out like me, and then I'm raising my kid, but he turns out like you.
Dog, we'd both
That
be
would be
disappointments.
ridiculous. That would be ridiculous.
We'd be disappointments as parents. Because I don't think you want a savage. Do you?
No, that's
Not
no,
at all.
no,
I don't
no,
think that's
no,
what you want.
no.
I think I want to savage, but I think the only thing I would improve for myself would be like more well rehearsed in academics beyond just schooling.
Right.
Like, this kid has read shit from
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
minute he's
Yeah.
3, because the accumulation of all those books over time does accumulate to some IQ raise.
I think a really good combination for that is, or an ideal one, in my own opinion, is a kid or an adult or whatever who's come up being intellectually driven, where from an early age you're pushing them into, you know, some sort of intellectual field where it's like whether you read a lot, whether you study or some kind of whatever, but still understands how the world works. I think that's a really dangerous combo, because you get a lot of these kids who they go through life very focused on what they have to do, studies, whatever, school, blah, blah, whatever their parents tell them. But they're almost shielded from how the world really works. And they don't know how to interact with different kinds of people, too.
Yeah.
Like, because they've spent so much time in that area that those are the only people they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you throw them into a situation where the guys are nothing like them. They're a bit harder than them, a bit more savage than them, like you just mentioned. And they just, like, they don't know how to, like, even, like, they don't even know how to be there. It's one thing to say, okay, you're not going to be like that guy. You're not going to be, if guys are like doing whatever, okay, fine. I'm not expecting you to fucking, you know, do lines of blow. Yeah, exactly. Okay. But
you don't have to do lines of blow to be tough.
But you shouldn't look like a deer in headlights in those situations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at, right? So I
Pink
think
elephant in a room.
I think that's a really good combination.
Yeah.
Me personally.
I think if we have kids at the same time, I don't think your kid would be a pink elephant in the room. I think
No, I don't think so.
I think if I get in your ear and your girl's ear about a little bit of MMA here and there,
Okay.
you guys might change your mind. He might just become a academic savage. And honestly, that's the goal, right? You want your kid to be social,
You do.
be able to protect himself or herself, and also sound the part, right?
Yeah.
For whatever, you know, they try to go into, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, I truly want my kid to be a better version of me,
yeah,
right? I have a lot of shortcomings that I've observed of myself over the last
you're retarded.
Sure. over the last few years. And those are the things that I would want him to avoid, right?
The one thing I would say about you is like you have very high street smarts, but I think that's your downside.
Could be.
I think that's your only downside.
Could be.
And you might or you might not, but over the years you haven't put that much importance on self-care and just health. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you eat well, and yeah, sometimes you hit the gym, but to do it in an accumulation of like a decade,
Yeah.
it's not you. You haven't done that yet. Maybe after this knee thing, you know, maybe just fucking
Yeah, maybe.
maybe CrossFit's for you. Maybe you're one of those, because some people that are like this, like my sister is in this group of people. They can't just go themselves. They need a group
Yeah,
activity.
I got that. Who was like that too is Brian.
Yeah.
So Brian, he would dabble in physical activities here and there throughout his youth. He did swimming for a little bit when we were doing swimming. He did this and that, but he never really he even did ball, bro. Back in the Eagles days, Brian actually did ball. Imagine this, 10-year-old Brian, my fucking.
Peter Moo also balled.
No, it's true, but
he's still good.
But
He just ripped his ACL though.
No, his Achilles.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah, it is worse. The old Kevin Durant. But anyways, Brian, when he found CrossFit in the last few years, he got into that shit hard, man. And now he hasn't left it. He's good. The guy's good. I would say he's like peak, but you don't need to be peak physical. But he's in great physical shape.
Yeah, I think
for a guy who does
he
what
have abs?
I think he actually does right now.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him without a shirt, but I would say yes.
Okay, cool. But Brian is in that group of people where it's like he goes on outings together. He goes, does activity with multiple people. Like, he's one of those people that after high school kept doing that high school shit where it's like you're hanging out with multiple people at the same fucking time, like consistently throughout the week. Me personally, I don't like that. I like my own time. I like to go into the woods, like look at a gun or like do some shit like that where I'm just like by myself. I need my time. Like sometimes I tell my girl like, "Oh, you don't come over on Thursday or whatever the fuck." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm gonna be by myself." You know what I mean? I don't know too many guys that are like that, but there's a core.
There's a
core group of guys that I hang around with that are like that, which is actually nice. Where you're like, it's your time. I've been trying to implement this to my girl, like try to get her to do her own shit.
Right.
And she did it the other day. I'm like, "Where'd you go?" She's like, "I went to a spa, did my fucking nails.
It's called
Read
self-care,
a
bro.
book.
Self-care day.
And I was like, how did it feel? She's like, it felt great. I'm like, see, I told you, bitch. This is
Yeah.
what you need, right?
Yeah.
This is what you need.
There's
Yeah.
something I wanted to ask you earlier because you were mentioning how our timing has been really funny. It's been very like in sync. Ask your girl this, or you might already know this. Are you aware that when girls start hanging out more, they start to cycle together?
Yeah, this happens.
I had no idea about this,
Yeah, this
until like
happens.
literally like last
Yeah,
month
yeah,
when all of
this
a sudden
happens.
my girls tell me some story about whatever her and her friend, they don't hang out anymore, so like their cycles are off. I'm like, hold on, what do you mean your cycles are off? Like
Yeah.
what the fuck are you saying?
You know why?
And she's like, yeah, it's like when you hang blah blah, it's a thing. And apparently there's no like definitive reason for it. There's theories, but there's no like this is the reason why. What
The
do you-
most interesting theory that I came across with among this was tribal reasons. We're
yeah,
tribe-
I saw that
we're
one.
tribe
I saw
people.
that one. Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, for men, now that it's modern times, you're talking about new concepts of ideas, and you consistently sharpen your ideas. Like if I give you pushback and you really look into it, and you're like, fuck, I'm off on that. Or if you give me pushback, which has happened a lot, I'm like, fuck, man, I should maybe chill or do something different or whatever, right? So you sharpen each other in a way. And women, it's like, how do you sharpen like women, right? You fucking cycle together, dog. Listen to me.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
You know, I've told you this. I've had 10 group of friends.
Okay.
Not 10 group of friends. 10 good friends
Okay.
that I know, right? And some of them are interlinked, and some of them you've met, but some of them are not.
Right,
They're
okay.
external links that I'm just linked to. And the interesting aspect is that we're from such different walks of life. Like I have a buddy, he's in finance. He's like a branch manager for a finance company.
Yeah.
Right? Makes tons of money. Looks nothing like me, does nothing like me, but mindset's very similar. Right? And that's what it is. It's like your group of friends, your core group of friends that you spend the majority of time on, start thinking like you in a way. Right? Because if I'm giving you an ear beating about how you got tits, you got to hit the gym, what are you going to do? You're either going to not hit the gym, but most likely you're going to hit the gym.
Right.
Right? If you're in my ear, you're like, fuck, Arma, you sound like a retard. Read a book.
Read
or
a book.
two, you fuck. Right? And then I look back on podcasts, I'm like, every third word's fuck.
I sound like an ape.
Right? Then I have to read a
Yeah.
fucking book,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then over time, you realize that you have taken your deficiencies and kind of raised them, and then you've lowered other things to an equivalent where you're well-rounded.
So how does it relate to cycling? So you're saying the women cycle, like they do what would you just describe by
Best
cycling
connections I've had with friends were the ones where we cycle something, but most of the time, steroids. You know what I'm saying? Those are my dogs,
my
dude.
God.
Those are my dogs, and like it didn't have to be a cycle of steroid. It could have been a cycle of anything, like a cycle of a podcast, a cycle of fucking, hitting the gym, a cycle of going to MMA classes, a cycle of fucking doing open mics, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to sell dope with a crew of guys. They're so much older than me, but I still chill with those dudes. Like I still talk to those guys. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, my kid has a kid now. Like this,
I would love to see, like, people talk about, like, the trades guys, they do this. Like, one of the ones that are part of unions, they do, like, reunions, like, class of, like, whatever, like, a fucking thing. Like, union workers united 192 or whatever. I would love to see a version of this for, like, dope dealers. It's like, tonight we're welcoming the class of 2015 dope dealers of South Van.
everybody
It's
has
like-
saggy pants.
It's like three dudes in the corner. Like, fuck. Because they were the three dudes who ran it. Fuck, man. I would love to see that.
Dude.
And it's talking about like the good old days. Like, man,
good
remember,
old days.
remember when you can get some dope for like fucking $10.99? Now it's like, what the fuck is this, man? It's like $50 and I only get like a little spiel or whatever.
That's a good joke, but you need to specify the drug.
Well, I'm also in an unfamiliar territory here.
That's the
I feel
thing.
like you could pull that joke off.
I could, but that's your. I can't take your joke, dog.
We're just brainstorming.
I know.
I don't care. It's not
But-
mine.
But I can't Carlos Mencia your joke here, right? All I could do is give you a couple pointers.
Okay,
One,
okay.
You got to say Coke. because
Coke.
it's high class drug,
Sure.
right? You don't want to say, "Oh, I used heroin." Like, fuck you, you dirty scumbag. Your custody's a scumbags, and you're a scumbag.
What about meth? Meth is funny.
Meth is shit, dude.
Yeah, it is shit,
cheap
but it's
as
funny.
fuck.
But it's funny.
It's cheap. Crack is cheap.
Crack is whack.
And heroin's bad, but coke, dude, that's the golden tier. There's guys I've sold to that were like 70, and now they're still banging fucking lines, and they're 80.
Shut up.
Swear to God,
No
dude.
way,
Some
dude.
of these guys, like, it's like the guy who smokes a pack,
Yeah, true.
right?
It's part
Smokes
of it.
a pack.
It's just part of his
Some
diet.
people smoke packs for decades,
Yeah,
half centuries,
true.
and shit like that. But what I wanted to ask you is this: do you feel like, we'll end it on this? Do you feel like you have a different personality when you're speaking Spanish, different characteristics versus when you're speaking English? You're not the same person. as
I'll
I'm
answer
saying.
that question, and then I'm gonna bring it to another one really quick because I think it's interesting that we never had a chance to talk about it. Personality, yeah, definitely changes a little bit. It's not as much as you think because I was never real Hector in Spanish ever in my life because
Yeah.
I didn't have the vocabulary to be me. Like when
You
I
don't have
wa-
the cultural backing either.
That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't have the slang. I didn't have like I could speak it very well at my peak, like really great. Like people,
Yeah.
anyone would
Yeah,
understand me. Like people think like, oh, where are you from? Whatever. But I never had that. Like if I hang out with people my age when we go drinking, I could never talk like them. Like I can talk with people here.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I never had that.
Yeah,
So in a way, it was like my personality was like a bit stunted when, in Spanish. But what I was going to mention is that I actually noticed that since I moved out of my parents, and since I left Toyo, where I actually used to speak quite a bit of Spanish because I had Spanish customers, my Spanish is taking a fucking nosedive, dog.
Damn,
Like
that
it's-
nose.
Yeah, dude. Like
Same
it's-
slope.
Like I'm losing the accent too. It's fucking weird.
Same slope.
It's not good.
All the way down.
Yeah, dude. It's
Shit.
like I'm even losing the accent. That's what's bothering me.
Shit.
And I noticed because it didn't make sense to me at first. I'm like, why the fuck is this happening? And then I realized I'm like, motherfucker, you're just not speaking Spanish.
You know what you should do? I don't know if you do this a lot or not, but you should call your parents like an hour a day and talk to them. In
Well, I
straight
still
Spanish.
see my parents.
No, but every day.
I guess, yeah,
It's
Yeah.
practice.
yeah.
The funny thing about the question I asked is this: I'm the same guy in both.
Yeah.
Like when I really started speaking slang was when I came to Canada,
Right.
because here I met with other Persian kids
Yeah, that's
at an
cool.
older
That's
age.
cool. See, that's a
So
benefit
they
I never
started
had.
saying slangs that I didn't even know, like kusashir,
And you're like,
which
hey,
means
what's that?
which means a pussy poem.
Jesus.
So when somebody says some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, do you think the sky's really blue or is our eyes have filters? Some dumb shit like that. You'd be like, dude, what kind of kuss shit are you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
What kind of pussy poem are you pulling
That's
right here?
hilarious.
But that's
See, I wish I would have had that because I never had Spanish friends when I came to Canada.
you wouldn't be you though. You would be.
I'd be a different
guy.
me. It's true. I would be a different me.
It was more of a push for me to be like to do fucked up shit because every aspect, every avenue at one portion of my life, they were all doing fucked up shit. So it just made me more enticed to do fucked up shit with
Yeah,
them.
I get that. I get
right?
that.
The reason you're the man that you are and you have high honor is because you didn't hang out with those Spanish guys. And majority of those Spanish guys here are doing fucked up shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
like and Canada's a safe place. Like safe zone is a fuck, right? Imagine if you were down in Texas with those dirty
No, bro.
Southsiders.
L.A. man. Imagine just in L.A. and stuff.
Those dirty fucking Southsiders
That's
from
some-
fucking LA.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck. You'd
Like
have
San
a
Diego,
cross on
or
your
like
fucking
San Diego. Yeah, dude.
You'd have a cross on the tip of your fucking cheek with 2 tears on the other one. You killed your homie and you fucking prayed to Jesucristo. Cristo.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is Jesucristo? Cristo? Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ.
There you go. But you only say Jesucristo. Cristo. You
No,
don't say
it's sort of. It's not like that. It's Jesus. It's Jesus.
Jesus Cristo.
Jesus Cristo. It's
Cristo.
Yeah, I still say Cristo.
Cristo.
Yeah, Cristo. Yeah.
Cristo.
Yeah.
How's my pronunciation there?
That was better the last time.
Say it again.
Cristo.
Jesus Cristo.
Cristo. Yeah, that's right.
Come on, dog.
There you go.
You got any last fucking words?
Actually, that reminds me. You just said it because when you're saying Cristo. Just shout out to our boy, man, Perez, man. It's been a few years. Shout out to the master.
Many things I've learned from this man at a very short period of time. that I haven't learned from my own father.
It's around this time actually. When was it? It was
September,
September.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting closer to it.
Yeah, the weather was the same.
The funeral was my birthday. I remember that now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was on the 8th.
the weather was the same,
Yeah.
and it would have been really cool to explore that kind of friendship with a guy like that. Like I really wish we were one
As
of those
we
guys
aged,
that
yeah.
we saw him around. We went to Cuba together. We did some crazy shit. It would have just felt right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
We would have had him on here, guaranteed.
not only that, but I would have. I would say in totality, I would have more of a complete life if he was around. And that speaks significance to his
Absolutely.
position in my life. He was
Yeah.
a very, very cool guy. He was very accepting in many ways, and he had many failures. So it was like you're kind of seeing a reflection of yourself in him in a way, because you're like, "Fuck, I fucked up." So, yeah, man, he was a good, maybe not father figure, but maybe uncle figure
Sure.
that was very beneficial to us. I hung out with him a lot. We smoked weed together a lot, and nothing but good shit to talk about fucking Perez, man. I think one of the reasons Victor is so successful is because he did take Perez's advice.
I think so.
Yeah. And there was many things Victor was like, like I'll just go real quick, like that finance shit he did, all that stuff. Those moves were backed by Perez, and even selling. I remember we found out when Perez was thing, and me and Vic we went there like before we went to go out at the keg, and he was already talking about selling online, and Perez kind of pushed him to that, which wasn't even a thought back then. This was like pre 2016, right? So yeah, man, shout out to R.I.P. Senor Perez.
We should
All right.
on the outro we should play. Actually, we were probably gonna get blocked for it, but I was gonna say
What?
Chen Chen.
Oh, la, 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 la,
If you sing it, it's fine. If you sing it, it's fine. You just can't play the music.
All right, we're out.
Peace.